Hey gang, Brad with Pacific Yak Angler here. First off, just a quick thanks to everyone for your continued support and patience. Kind of have been in the continuing product design mode for 3 years now, but there was 2 years of interruption with a move, a ruptured disc, an extension to the house, and some grandkids coming along. So we've been back at it since January, a little slower than we'd like, but got some great new announcements for you. And today I'm just going to cover our first of them, which will be released it's today, the 11th. We'll have them on pre-sale starting tomorrow, July 12th, which is our new rudders, our new aluminum rudders. So first one I just want to talk about is if you've been a long time Old Town person, my original Predator, probably the best rudder that was available until they changed them all, was the original Predator rudder. So we have made some original Predator rudders. All of our rudders are going to come unfinished, and they will be anodized as well, so you'll have your option for whatever you want to purchase. Anyways, this was the best rudder at the time, and so we've made some of these for those who want it. These will fit on pretty much every Old Town. I've got my EPDL here. You can see they'll fit. I'm going to talk about this. They'll fit on everything. Here's the 120 autopilot. It'll fit on there as well. I got my Salty over there. This one will work on any one of them. Next, what we did is we created a slightly modified version of the paddle, or the what we call the paddle rudder, which is what's on everyone's autopilot. We did trim off the back side. We didn't see a value to that, and there's a couple other reasons we did that. But this is really intended just for the autopilot, so it will fit on here. Again, we just didn't see the value of this off because the majority of it is basically blocked by the hull, so we saw little value in that, so we just straight lined that. You'll see as well we have these little grooves here. Really all that's for is just if you have to help lifting it up or anything, it gives you that to pull it up. This also will work on your big waters if you want to put it on there, but it will not work in this design on the 120 or 106. Now you might say, oh, it does work this way. Absolutely it does. I wanted to show that briefly because that brings us to our custom design, which we've put a lot of work and time into. It's called the P3. From my paddling days, my best and favorite rudder was a K3 rudder, and this was sort of started with that. And basically we've gone through some engineering efforts and everything to look at fluid dynamics. And what a lot of people don't realize with these rudders is, you know, the Old Town kayaks are great for steering. We have a little bit of flexibility here in the rudders, and that's the main reason people are going to aluminum. The other thing though, by design, is essentially our propulsion comes from up where the pedal drive is. And if you look at fluid flow and everything analysis, what you'll start to see is that, you know, a simple way to look at it is go watch Deadliest Catch and see what they do there with their screw drives. But basically the rudder's attached almost directly to the propeller, so there's more direct responsiveness. So in creating this design, what we tried to do is reduce the amount that's above the water line so that it has less impact from waves or current or anything, and basically put the bulk of our rudder below the water line. So you'll see this is the longest of the rudders that's available out there, but it's also designed to fit on every kayak. So if we take the 120 here, let me put it in front, thanks Adam. But basically it's designed to fit right underneath here and give you maximizing turning control, limit the amount of stuff that we've got outboard and above the water line, and basically put the bulk of the rudder that's going to help with steering and control of your boat in the water. So again, we've spent a lot of time and effort in looking at flow models and stuff. I'm a scientist by background, not an engineer, but we really wanted something that maximized the functionality, improved your handling on the water. You can install this. It's been designed so that you can install it this way if that's what you prefer and more of a conventional style. Certainly will work, and with keeping not a lot of rudder up here, by removing that, we're keeping impact of waves and current and anything on your rudder, so you still will get a lot better turning capacity in this configuration. But again, the key thing for us here is that this will fit. This is the EPDL, big water. And again, you may say, well, there's quite a distance there, but if you look at where the bottom of the hull is relative to this, if we look at it in the water, the majority of the turning capacity sits in the water. And again, you can install this way if you'd like. And on the autopilot, it's the same thing. One of the things here with the autopilot, there really isn't much surface area below the water, so it doesn't help as much. So by doing this, you can see if I actually put it behind, we've added quite a bit of surface area that's below the water, and that helps incredibly with your turning capacity and just your ability to stay in position, especially if you have an external motor to this. So last thing I want to say is, what is all included? Well, as always, it comes with your pucks that are basically your spacers here for your propeller up, or your propeller here, rudder up and down lines. These, you can see here, I have screws in them. They do not require the screws in them. Those are put there as pilot holes, and for people who do want to attach this with screws. If you're operating in salt water, I would encourage you, don't do that, because basically cathodic corrosion, the more metal you put onto this, the more risk you are of future corrosion. This is all made out of 6061 aluminum, so it's marine grade. Shouldn't have that issue, but again, all of our pro staffers who've tested this have seen they don't need it. The dimensions here are very sound, and so basically all you need to do is put our screw back through, and you don't even need those screws. But they are there, they're included with the kit to make sure that you have everything that you need. For those who are getting this as well, the original bungee paracord is tough to stretch around this. It doesn't, so there's additional included in your package to make sure that you can tie it off. Obviously, if you install it in what we promote as the configuration like this, when it comes up, it fits nicely into the slot, just like the wide does, and the same here. Sorry, that's in the way, but it comes up and just slots in there nicely. Again, if you're using the paddle rudder, the autopilot's got the slot here for it to drop down into. Sorry, the kayaks are a little dirty, we live in the country. To drop down into, that's great. If you put this one onto your 120 or anything, naturally it's going to ride up a little bit. The same if you use this on your big water. And that's just the same as everything that's on the market there for that right now. So considerable advantage. If you have a look at our pro staff, again, I want to say thanks to all the guys who've been testing these. We're not one who just comes out there and throws something on paper and throws it out on the market. Our pro staff team has taken these, they've run them through their paces, they've checked them. So without their efforts, we wouldn't have the premium product that we're putting out there, but thanks to their efforts, we do. So that's another great thing. So these will come in 2 varietals for purchasing. You'll be able to purchase it just straight up, any one of these. You'll be able to purchase them straight up in the aluminum for finishing yourself. If you're going to finish it yourself, I encourage you to use a 2-coat process. And the first is to put a primer on, and then to put a proper aluminum paint onto it. Some people have asked me about powder coating. We've not been a proponent, or I've not been the proponent of powder coating, simply it chips over time. So if we're going to spend that much money on things, you might as well do it yourself. Or if you want a pre-finished one, what we're doing is we're going to the anodizing approach. Anodizing is not a coating. It's basically infused into the metal itself, so it has, it will stand the conditions and everything. You might get a little dent in it, but you're not going to get it chipping. So our goal has been to invest in that extra quality. It's a little more expensive, actually quite a bit more than powder coating, but at the end of the day, it's going to give us a premium product, and one that we don't have to worry about you saying, oh, it's chipping or there's a problem with it. So those are our new rudders. We're excited for those to hit the market here, and looking forward to everyone's feedback. I'm also at the end of this video going to put a bunch of links to videos that have been done already by our pro staff who have had these out trying them. And again, with all our products, we think you get it on your kayak, the results will speak for itself. So we appreciate your continued support and business. And last thing I want to say is remind people I've got my new hat on. I'm always a big proponent of safety, so I want to tell you safety on the water is paramount. We did these, they're available on the website too, just so you can be seen on the water a little easier. So thanks, be safe on the water, and take somebody fishing.